since the beginning of ancient times, men were set to provide and protect. Women were set to bear the children and take care of the household. So in modern day, I mean, when it comes to women, you have to just understand that they want a guy that could take care of them. Just the way it is.
A lot of women complain about being objectified sexually, right? But do you think that women objectify men financially and do the same
Hell
thing?
yeah.
So how is that different than like just a loose how's that not prostitution in a way?
Oh, because let me think.
Let me answer that.
Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, let me just say, I'm a preacher's kid, and as a kid, your daddy tell you like, when my daddy always tell me, if he can't afford to take you out for a steak dinner, he ain't the man for you. Y'all put that shit in our head since forever. When men take their daughters to get their nails done and they pedicures, they take them on like daddy-daughter dates. First thing they say is, I want to teach her how a man should treat her.
Exactly.
So, it's like, how was that prostitution since I was a little
It's
girl?
only
You've been teaching me that a man should court me and date me a certain kind of way. I should.
I feel like,
certain caliber of man.
of course, I feel like it's only prostitution if we make a deal like, oh, it's $400 to fuck me. No,
Exactly.
if I'm telling you, oh, you have to do this, then the third, that's because I came from a household where my daddy did it. So when my daddy passed me on to the next man, that means you could take care of me.
Prostitution is when you put it on the ground and I put it down.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm glad we clear that up.
Okay.
Now my question is, okay, a lot of women nowadays say they want a guy who's a sugar daddy.
I got a sugar daddy.
Do you think it's hypocritical for parents to advise their sons to avoid gold diggers, but advise their daughters to find a man who will know how to take care of them? Do you think that's fair advice?
Should be independent, whether it's a female or a boy, a daughter or a son. You should teach your kids how to be independent.
For the women who say, like, I'm a strong, independent woman, right? If women are so strong and independent, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
Because it's all a facade. It's not real. I mean, look, you can sit there and act like you're the most confident, independent person in the world, but if your parents are still picking up your tab for college, your apartment, your car payment, your insurance, are you really an independent, strong woman? Probably not.
So, in your opinion, what is the difference between a man who spoils his woman and a man who's whipped?
Oh, whipped. Okay, so you can spoil your woman and have that respect level, have that aggression. Like, I've been spoiled by a man, and it's like, he kind of got me in check a little bit. Like, I know what I can and cannot say to him. I know I can't run over him. He has that respect level. Whipped is just like, bitch.
So Brandon is whipped.
Brandon is definitely
I
whipped.
have a boyfriend that's whipped. He let me do whatever the fuck I want to do, have sugar daddies, but spoiled is,
Spoiled.
I can still be, you take care of me, but
Yeah.
I would never disrespect him.
Yeah, because your ass might get cut off.
Why is it okay for some women to expect a man to still do traditional manly things like fix stuff and pay bills, protect, provide, but the minute he expects her to cook and clean traditional woman things, that's seen as sexist?
I think that's one of those things that also just depends on the particular parties involved. I mean, obviously the way that you grew up or what you saw in your household growing up is going to determine whether you see that as something that's normal or taboo, you know what I mean? So say you were raised by two lesbian moms and then you marry a dude who expects you to freaking cook and clean and do all this stuff all the time, they probably were trying to make you, a strong, independent woman because you didn't have that necessarily like father figure in your life. So I think it really just depends on the circumstances that you grew up in.
If there was one thing that you wish more women understood about men, what would that be?
To be honest, that we want just more than one of you. Like, we can't be confined, and it's just, we're going to keep circling right back around trying to do the same concepts of monogamy. I don't really believe in monogamy. I feel like men are naturally polygamous, and that's why it doesn't work. And just, you try to tie us down into a domestic relationship, and we act like that's what we want, and that's what we're satisfied, and we have to play a cat and mouse dance and lie and tell you, but secretly when you walk away, we're looking over here and over there. And then we end up getting in trouble, and then we end up losing our women, and that's why divorce rate is so high, I believe.
Why do you think that there are some men who struggle with commitment?
Because they're broke as fuck, and they're lame as fuck, and they're gay as fuck. Next question.
What was surprising to you, something that you learned about men in your experiences? just dealing with men, dating, relationships?
There's no such thing as a loyal man. Every man cheats.
So do you think that men are only as loyal as their options?
Yep.
Do you think that do you think that people are just only as loyal as their options, including women as well?
Yep.
I think so too, yeah. Men are biologically disgusting and they're biologically liars. It takes the right woman to come into their lives
Even
and
when
mold
the
their
right-
bitch asses into
Oh no, even when the right woman come in their life, they still cheat. Cause they're dumb as fuck, okay?
They wait until they know they about to lose that one and like
They wanna crash shit.
All
Don't
right,
cry
do you
now,
think?
bitch
Okay,
ass
tell me this.
nigga.
Do you think you were talking about cheating, right? When somebody cheats on their lover, right? Do you typically blame the one who cheats or the one who drove the other one to cheat?
At the same time, it takes two. You feel me? So you obviously doing something that made me cheat. I ain't gonna cheat with the bottom of the barrel. I'm gonna cheat on somebody that's better than you.
Why didn't you just leave? Nobody can make you cheat.
You right.
Who do you think kind of sets the rules in relationships? You know, the boundaries.
It depends on the kind of relationship.
Do you think it's true that the one who loves the other one less is the one who has the control in a relationship?
I never thought about that. I don't think so, but sometimes kinda.
Sometimes, kind of. Okay.
Yeah. But like
Interesting.
toxic, but
What are the characteristics of a toxic person?
who? Someone who makes you feel guilty or bad about things that you shouldn't feel bad about.
A lot of guys are just more thirstier than females are. Females will rather seek out their options, and they have a lot of options. So they piggyback off of different guys. It's just the truth, man. I've seen it myself.
Okay. And doesn't having more options in dating give women the privilege of being more picky?
Hell, half the time they don't even have to be picky, but the options give them an opportunity to see exactly what they want and to fill their needs at that time. So if they have more options, they're able to fulfill their needs a lot faster.
Do you think women are biologically driven to seek out the highest value man they can attract, specifically the best protector and provider?
Yes.
So that's biological, that's in their DNA, right?
Right. That's every woman is like that. Every woman, it's in their DNA. Every woman wants the best option she could possibly find. Physically, society has made us think that the dad bod is a thing. No, girls like guys with abs, guys with nice bodies. It's all propaganda. So they want the best option they could possibly find, the most money, whatever.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, that's what they want. If you are seeking someone to provide, why wouldn't you want the best one to do it? So you can't be mad at women because they want a rich man or they want the athlete. They want the strong guy. Like they want the dominant alpha male. You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't they go for the best of what they can get? That's just with anything else in life. It doesn't have to be the opposite sex. It could be with like food. If I want a burger, I want the best damn burger there is, right? So I mean, you can't be mad at somebody for wanting the best. So I feel like it flips on the other side. So you can't be mad at men for wanting the best of what we want. You know what I mean?
So do you think that's natural or learned behavior?
I think that's biological, man.
Biological.
I think that's in us from birth. I feel like as an infant, you want to seek the most efficient protection of survival.
And do you think that men are biologically wired to reproduce and spread their seed with as many women as possible?
Man, that's a good question. Yes, they are. We are. I'm not going to do that because I value my seed, but
He told us to be fruitful and multiply. I don't think that was, how could we be so fruitful and multiply if I were to get a woman pregnant? It's 9 more months until I can get her pregnant again. But biologically, I can go get someone pregnant again in the next 5 minutes. So being fruitful and multiply, I think that the monogamy just goes out the window with that.
Okay, so then my next question, you jumped the gun here. Wouldn't the expectation of monogamy be asking a man to deny his biological instinct to reproduce?
That's the problem with life. That's the main problem with everything, because we are not able to be our natural selves. We have to pretend, we have to lie, we have to act like, even though we do love our women, we act like that's all that we want, and it's not. Even my love for you and how strong I want to provide and protect for you, I want to love and provide and protect for her too.
monogamy is learned behavior.
Okay, so if that's true, why are women allowed to fulfill their biological destiny to seek out the highest value man, but we're not allowed to fulfill our biological destiny to reproduce?
That's really deep, bro. That's a good question.
Because we're living in a women-driven society where they rule. Just for example, look at the statistics for child support and things like that. How many women take advantage of the catering to women that get the benefits from that? How many women are just being lazy and get to collect checks and everything because they know that the government and men are going to provide for them? If they didn't have those luxuries, then they would have to figure something else out. They would have to survive in a different way, but they're able to be more relaxed and able to make the choices and not hold themselves accountable.
Wow. Okay.
It's the whole like woman power thing, you know. It's
not to be talked about.
Yeah, it's the whole woman power thing. Like, why can't we do that? You know.
Right.
But
I'm just saying, women have a lot of power, and yet they feel like they have no power.
well, that's a thing. They use that for power. The fact that they have no power is the power that they're using against. You know, it's like.
Right.
It's a Jedi mind trick.
They have the privilege of being victims.
Yeah. It's like race, right? You pull that black card, pull that white card, pull that Jew card, whatever. It's the same thing.
Exactly. No, I'm Jewish, and do I get to go up to German people and say,
exactly.
"Give me money," you know?
Exactly. It's over with.
Right.
But this is the new trend. Like, this wasn't like this in the 50s.
Sure.
It wasn't like this in the 60s, maybe 80s. It's like 90. Social media started the whole thing, the whole woman movement.
Right.
That's it. It's social media.
Yeah.
You know, you got all these celebrities talking about, like, you know, independence, and started from Beyonce, like, you know, INDE, right? Started from there, and it just kept on, you know, Cardi B, like, talking about, you know.
All the time you hear women's rights, equal rights, all this stuff, whatever, right? You cannot expect to have an equal partnership and all this stuff when you have one guy putting in all the effort and taking care of everything, and then the girl wants to sit there and act like she's the one that needs to be taken care of, but then she's out there doing all these freaking slut walks with Amber Rose, and she's, you know, all about women and all this stuff, empowerment, but then you're depending on a man. You can't really, I mean, I can't vibe with that.
See, the behavior of women, they will never change. It's just female nature. So us as men, we have to understand that and just get over it. So we have to adjust to the way they act.
Why is it easy to say that women will never change their behavior, but men, if men can change their behavior, why can't we expect women to change their behavior?
Because they're not going to do it. Just female nature, bro. I know.
What do you mean? They're not going to do it because they can't, or because they just don't want to?
Because they just can't. It's biologically ingrained in their heads.
Why isn't it impossible for men to change their behavior then?
That's a good question, but it's just the way nature works, man.
So men are capable of adapting, but women aren't? Is that what your theory is?
Men adapt. Think about it.
Don't we see females changing all the time though? I mean, you know, females used to be totally complacent, you know, being you know, a homemaker, and now all of a sudden women kind of seem to be more wanting to be more like men. So I mean, females are changing, wouldn't you say?
Right.
So if females are changing, then why is it safe to say that they won't change if they already have proven that they have changed?
I believe that it has to do with the context of in which you're speaking.
Okay.
You know, it's the context in which you're speaking regarding female nature. By default, females are going to be females regardless. So us as men, we just have to adjust. They're hypergamous by nature.
Explain what hypergamy means.
So hypergamy means finding the next big option. So if you're with a young man and he's making $30K a year, and you run across a man that's making $500K a year, you're going to exploit that option. You're going to explore that option. It's like a monkey branch. You're just climbing higher, so it benefits you. That's hypergamy.
Have you ever heard of the red pill?
Yes, I'm a red pill young man.
I can tell you are and stuff. Yeah. What was your introduction to the red pill?
Oh, man, my introduction to the red pill, I remember when I was, I'm 21 now, but I remember I was doing everything right. I thought I was doing everything right. I did everything right. I was doing everything right.
What does that mean? What is doing everything right?
I was a gentleman. At first, I had my guard up, but I let my guard down. But dates, just being a gentleman, just going the extra mile, even when she didn't deserve it. And just not getting the results that I wanted to in the end.
Okay, and so what did the red pill teach you?
It taught me that the real deal. Like, this is all propaganda. by nature, we are taught, like since we are children, we're taught that you got to be Mr. Nice Guy, and that's not the way. That's not the right way. That's not the right way, and you will never win. You got to be a man, and real men know their worth. Real men don't place their value in females. They place their value in themselves. Real men know their worth. Yeah.